Hi, and welcome to Woman Witness Podcast of Stories at the Well. I'm your host, Leah Fortier. Here on this platform, we bring to you voices of women that are out there making a positive impact and making a difference in their lives, in the community, in the world around them. Today, I have a very, very special topic for you. We're going to be talking about finding purpose in your pain. I have an amazing author, a writer, a storyteller who's going to give us a little bit of insight on her latest book that she wrote. Today, I'm going to introduce to you Sherri Adams. Sherri Adams, welcome to the Well. Hey, girl.
Hey, how you doing? Thank you for having me today.
Thank you for being here. Sherri, I was just talking to you briefly, and I was telling you how my mom found your book, read it, hunted you down, and said you had to come and share your story at the Well. And I'm so grateful that she did.
Me too. I really appreciate that. I'm just happy to have another person that I have never met to have read it and really like it and then tell you all about it. So I feel very blessed and special. Thank you so much. And thank you, Miss Tina.
Right?
Yes.
Well,
Shout her out.
that is what it's definitely all about. It's all about being a witness, taking your story and recreating it in a way that it will find purpose for someone else who might be in the fight or in the midst of the pain. So I am so glad that you have written your book and you are bringing it to the Well to be a witness and share with us all your journey. So without taking up too much of your time, what I did was I went through your amazing content and I pulled out several chapters that I want to talk to you about. And so we'll walk through it as a journey. We won't give you it all, people. We want you guys to still get the book, but I want you to see and hear yourself in here and rush to go get this book and finish reading it. All right. So let's just start real quick, Sherri. Just introduce yourself. Tell us who you are.
My name is Sherri Adams. I am a singer, songwriter, and now book author. I'm a mother and grandmother. I'm a Christian woman. I love God, and I've just been trying to do my best to represent Him in my older years as I become an older woman. And I've been through quite a few things, and I just want to share with everybody else my experience so that they can learn from it and hopefully not have to experience some of the crazy stuff I had to endure over the years.
I love it. And you're a grandmother.
No,
way.
my daughter did me wrong with that. Okay. Yes. He's
Oh,
2 years old.
okay. So I have to ask, what do you go by?
I go by Sherri D or
No.
Sherri.
Oh, no. For
Oh, I'm
your
sorry,
grandma
guys.
and your grandmother title,
You know what? He
your
calls me
grandma
Nanny.
era.
You
What you
know,
go?
that's a great role. He calls me Nanny.
Nanny. Oh, I
It
love it.
doesn't sound so grandmother-ish, but I don't mind. You know, it is what
Hey.
it is.
I love it. Okay, I'm going off topic, but I'm gonna come back. They
Okay.
say that usually, like they say, once you have like that first grandchild, like it's a
Mm-hmm.
different type of love that you can't even
It's
ever
absolutely the
explain.
truth. The truth.
Mm-mm-mm.
My daughter, I love her,
Yeah.
but my grandson is like he's first. She
Oh,
gets so mad. He's so yummy. Yes, we will talk about him later for sure.
I love that so much. All right, hun. Okay, so let me just jump right in. I love the title. I love everything. And I know that a lot of women listening, I know that they'll be able to be blessed by this because it's all about finding your purpose and your pain. I want to ease into the second chapter real quick and talk to you a little bit about your next chapter, which is Don't Touch Me, I'm Just a Kid in your book. And could you share with us the significance of this chapter and how it shaped your perspective on finding purpose in your pain?
That chapter was a combination of two stories, myself and somebody else that I know and love. And I wanted to put it on Front Street because a
Mhm.
lot of things like this happen and no one really talks about it. I felt the need to share as I became older, and I felt, it's very important to lean into what has taken place
Yeah.
and being able to talk about it with your parent or your guardian. And for me, it was kind of hard to talk about it in the beginning, but I wanted to write a chapter on it to bring light to it so that we can talk about it as a family, as a generation.
You started off very heavily in the beginning of your book, and you go right into it. So, and I hear you saying that the conversation of children when they're violated in that space, being able to be comfortable with yourself and take it to an adult and say, "Hey, I need help. This is happening to me." And you're right. It is a conversation that does not happen often. And I can even attest to it, even as me in my abusive past growing up. It's not something that I knew to say, "Hey, I need help. This is happening to me." And I love the fact that you open up your book with it so that women who are reading it, women or men who have been violated in this in any form, shape, form, or way, they now know that there's a journey and there's a way through for them to share their story and come up out of that because they don't belong stuck in that bondage.
I wanted to start off heavy because it was the beginning of my pain. And I
Mm,
did not even know that back then, but it shaped
mhm,
some things. It shaped how I view people, or men, I should say,
mm,
and how I didn't feel protected. It just kind of took me down a little bit more of a negative route versus
yeah.
positive. And it started there. So that's why I went in. Yeah, I went in
You
strong.
went straight to the root. And it took, and I love that you share that. And I don't want to spend too much time on it, but I want to also just highlight to some of those who are listening. You started off with the root of the problem because you were trying to find purpose in your pain, but you had to find out where that pain stemmed from. So I hear you so loud and clear, and I'm glad that you brought it straight to there because how else do you know to move forward until you actually identify that pain? I love it. Okay, so okay, woo, we can stay there for so the next chapter that I wanted to highlight is I want to talk to you about I Need My Dad, which is a chapter that you wrote about. Could you elaborate on the importance of this chapter and how the absence or how the search and the your yearning for a father figure impacted your life?
I Need My Dad. That was very much so a glimpse of what I
Mm,
really felt and experienced. But I just wanted to touch on it because it's a lot of us that have absent fathers. Okay. And
mm,
for me, my father was mostly in and out of prison. And even though I know he wanted to be there, he was not. And it played a role. It made me angry. It made me sad. It made me want to look for protection in other areas of my life and different people in my life, starting with popular or relationships, if you,
yeah.
you know. So I need my dad. It's important because we do need our dads. And I don't
Yeah.
think some dads know how much we need them until they see their child veer off left and doing something they probably shouldn't do or interact with a person they probably should have stayed away from.
I love that. So at what point when you were writing this and I can only imagine and it's easier said than done, but when you're writing your book, I'm pretty sure there's a lot of soak pages, a lot of thoughts. Where were you in that moment when you were writing that chapter? What was going through your mind?
Well, it was times growing up, I had a lot of different events because I do sing. And
Yeah.
as a teenager, I did a lot of different shows and stuff like that. And I wanted my dad there. It was times that I had a boyfriend and I really didn't know how to deal with guys. And I wish I could have talked to my father about it, but I couldn't.
Yeah.
My mom was there and she was also remarried. And I did have a stepfather. But for me, I really just wanted my father. And with
Mm.
him being absent, it just pissed me off. I'm sorry. And
No.
I'm just like, where are you? Like, why do you have to be gone? Why can't you be here? As a child, you really don't know the reasons back then. You just want what you want. You want your dad there.
Right.
And I just felt abandoned. I felt neglected. I felt unprotected because I wanted his love. I wanted him.
Yeah. And you know what, that's so important, especially I could tell you, nowadays, and even when we're going through our adult life and we find ourselves in situations, it is important to go back and identify those moments and say, you know what, it's okay to say I needed you. Because if you were here, I wouldn't be here. And I say that it's important to identify that, because then we get back down to the root of it. What is the root of why I'm in this situation? Why I'm constantly picking people like this? Why I'm constantly entering business partners or friendships that with things that identify me through that pain of that missing or that yearning for that father figure. Okay. Woo. All right. These are not my look. That's why I'm saying, and I love I love the topic, the chapter titles, and I can't wait to really deep dive and read your book. But because I know that I can see and hear myself in so many of these. This is why I'm glad I have you here in the well to really start breaking down, so we can identify ourselves and go back to these pivotal points in our lives if we are still struggling. Okay, let's talk about Another Baby Mama. Your your book touches on challenges that we all face, and as a result, maybe having children in the midst of it and interacting with different people and different relationship dynamics. What lessons or insights did you pour into this chapter that offers terms of finding purpose in your pain?
Wow. Okay, so another baby mama, to me, it's like a statistic almost, because you're not married, or you may not even be in a relationship with the father of your child. And for me, I had a relationship with him, but it didn't work out, and I ended up pregnant while I was in college. And I
Mm,
realized that I'm going to be another baby mother, because he didn't
mm,
want to be a part of my child's life at that time.
mm.
And so he clearly told me his feelings, and y'all can read that in the book. I don't want to give it away, but
Yeah.
it made me know that I'm going to have to fight this fight on my own. I'm going to be a single mom. I'm going to have to make the choice to choose motherhood and take care of myself and my child. And so here I am, another baby mama, but I'm going to do everything I can to be a good baby mom. Okay, I'm going to take care of my
Oh,
baby.
yes.
I'm going to take care of myself. And I talk about that too. But that reality check was very painful. I wasn't expecting. I'm like, this is my best friend. We're cool. We chilling, and people change when something drastic or life changing comes about, like being a parent. And yeah, it took me there. So I was writing about that experience, and being a baby mom. It was a hard part of my life in the beginning, but I literally had to write down a plan for myself, how to get out of my situation, far as me not really having a place to go out of college. You know what I mean? I didn't really know what I was going to do, but I got me a good job. I got me an apartment. I went to school for a community college instead of the Chicago University. And I continued. I continued to work hard to take care of me and my daughter. And thankfully, she's doing well. I didn't do too bad with her. Oh my gosh, she's 25 now. But, it was hard, but I made it. I made it work.
Yeah, I love that, and bringing it back to that point, because I love how you put that, Sharina, because I do believe that a lot of us find ourselves in this in situations similar to where we say, you know what, I never thought that life would pan out like this. I never thought that I could be in a situation like this. But as you said, you put your foot down and said, you know what, this is not going to end the way I think it's going to end, or the way I saw it in the past, and you put forth a plan and you made a way for yourself and your daughter. And I love that so much. And I love the title, because I think we all been there. We're like, what is this? And I'll go a little bit deeper on that. When you say Another Baby Mama, I think sometimes too, the in context of when we look at it, especially, if we're in a relationship or in a maybe an abusive relationship, we don't know how to get out of, stay in it, because we say to ourselves, what, the same thing, I don't want to be just another baby mama. So I'm gonna stay in this toxic relationship because I don't want to be another statistic.
Right. We settle.
We settle.
And you just, it's what sometimes it's what you're used to seeing, you know.
Yeah.
That's what our friends do, and
Yep.
we know it's a struggle to be by yourself. So it's like, yeah, I'm going to deal with this dude by any means necessary, but
Yeah.
it can be bad for you if you do that. If he's not a good person, you know.
Right. And I love that. I love it. And that's what it's all about. It's about taking that ownership and pushing forward. I want to talk to you about Bliss. I want to upbeat it a little bit. Can you share with us its contrasting title and how it compares to the preceding chapters? Could you talk to us about the significance in this chapter and how it played a role in your journey towards finding your purpose?
In the beginning of my relationship, I felt like it was blissful. It was so much fun. I didn't see any red flags, you know.
Mm.
Maybe I saw a couple, but they weren't like burnt orange, just all in my face like that, because
Yeah.
I saw what I wanted to see. But
Right.
I fell in love, and I thought he was a cool dude. He was cute. He was into music like me. You know, I was like, okay, we have a lot in common.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me just give him a chance. A little
Yeah.
rough around the edges, but I can change him.
Yeah.
You say that. It's lies. We can't. But
No.
I thought I could with,
Yeah.
you know, my good, wholesome wannabe
Yeah.
self at the time. I had a good relationship in the beginning, and then as time went on, I saw the flaws in him. But at that moment, I'm like, you know what? I'm in love now. I want to have a family, and
Yeah.
over time we're going to get through it. And again, I'm thinking I can change him, and I stayed, and I shouldn't have. And through the chapters, you'll see why.
Yeah.
Just hard-headed. We don't listen to the signs, and we have to listen to our gut. I've learned that listening to your gut, that first feeling of anxiety, like, oh, this might be wrong. It probably is. But when we want something so bad that we really never had, you compromise.
Yeah.
And you settle, if you will. So I settled a lot. You know, sometimes I do regret that settling, because I feel like I wouldn't have suffered so long. But I learned from the experience in that relationship. And out of that relationship came my son. But again, I don't want to give too much away, because I know you have a lot more questions for me.
Yes, yes. You know, I want to just.
Child, you're making me hot up in here.
Well, hold on, and that's good though. And I love the fact that you bring up the bliss part, because we remember the bliss more times than often. We overlook the pain,
and I surely did that.
Yeah.
And there was some pain. It wasn't as harsh as it became later down the line.
Yeah.
Because people don't even show their true selves all the time in the beginning.
Correct. No.
They wait it on out. You know, I feel like they get you where they want you, and then bam, the devil comes. Come out of some people. But yes, it was rough, but I just ignored it. I was happy. I was having a good old time. And again, I didn't see to me, the terrible things in the beginning. And even for myself, I didn't even know I can be as mean or as crazy acting or snapping out with my emotions, losing control, because I had never been in certain situations to be provoked, I guess. So you learn so much about yourself. I mean, it started off as bliss, but it can be a bomb in the end.
Ooh, I like that.
Unfortunately.
From bliss to bomb and in between.
It's real.
And we've all been there. And I love the fact that you said you took a look at yourself. And I don't want to take up too much time, Serena, but I can tell you something, girl. When I went back, I was like, Lord, I don't know how you kept me, how you hid this, how you think, you think like, oh, I can't believe I ever did that.
No, I'll be like, so mad at myself.
I ever acted like that, or you like this, especially I think when we get saved and sanctified and filled with the Holy Spirit, we forget.
Then that's honest. People do forget, and that's what I didn't want to do. That was part of the reason why I wrote the book, because I want to minister to the women, and not just as a songstress, but I want them to know I've been through some things. I feel you. I know where you are. I can meet you where you at. I'm not judging you. How can I help you? And if they know some of my troubles, they'll open up. They'll feel safe, because at times I didn't feel safe to tell people things. And I want to be the person that they can feel safe to tell along the way to help them grow.
Yes. Oh, absolutely. Shereen, that's what it's all about, being a witness. If you over here acting like you so high that I can't reach you, I'm not gonna tell you. I'm gonna shut down and I'm gonna stay captive. I'm gonna stay in bondage because I don't have anybody to go to. And we both been there too many times. Okay. The title married, but am I? Ooh, is it gives us a sense of conflict again and confusion. And how did this chapter contribute to understanding and finding your purpose in your pain?
Okay, so Mary, but am I the other woman? That chapter was indeed hard to
Ooh,
write because I had to take a look at myself, and I literally asked myself that question. I'm married to this man, but am I the other woman? Because she's getting all this, that, and the third.
mm,
And it was just turmoil in that few years of my life. It
good.
wasn't like it was a season or a couple months. It was years on and off of drama with dealing with somebody in my marriage at the time. So me getting through that helped me to find purpose in my pain, because I'm like, I'm not going to be the side chick in my marriage. For one, I am not going to remain a victim. I'm not going to even deal with this anymore. I'm going to get out of it. But I knew I needed help. So I had to be real with myself, talk it out with a counselor. I'm talking about the church counselor, a regular, I want to say, safe place counselor. And then I had to go to a professional therapist who was from Chicago, who was from where I grew up, who really helped me. She did one of those. She made me snap back. So it was stages of my healing. Yeah, she had to check me. She spoke the truth in love, but she was very harsh and she hurt my little feelings. But it's what I needed. And so from that, I'm like, okay, this is what it is. My husband is a cheater. I'm in a weird three-way type of relationship. I want to get out. And once I got out, I was able to forgive myself for staying, for
Mm,
dealing with it, and then, give myself grace because I just didn't know what to do. I didn't know how to get out. I didn't know how to break the soul tie. I didn't know how to say, or not compete with the other woman. You know what I'm saying?
oh,
What
girl.
am I doing? I shouldn't have done that, but we do it a lot
Yeah, we
because
do.
that's the devil. He played both sides. So
Yeah.
once I got past that, I was like, okay, I'm going to be so great to tell my story because God truly brought me through. I have forgiven myself. I have forgiven my ex-husband, and I even forgave the little chick.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's deep. And that's deep. And I'm gonna
God's
just
still working on me.
look,
But
hold
I
on.
forgave them. Okay. To keep it honest, I forgave them.
But you know what? I believe that God brings us through certain things so we can use what we learned to not just help the people that was in our position,
Mm-hmm.
but maybe the other person who's on the other side. And
Absolutely.
if you're unable to forgive him, unable to forgive her, and then what happens when she comes to you in the form of somebody who really needs help, you're not
Mm.
gonna be able to help her because you still mad at the other one.
Right.
And that's why I believe that's where that bondage comes from. And I love the titles that you chose. Mary, but am I the other woman? Which you have it in two different chapters. So I can tell you went deep and get the book, ladies, because oh, it is such a hard position to be in, and it's a what did they say? Slap tag with reality rag. It's a reality that hits us really hard when saying, you know what, whoa, is this really what it is? And it's almost like, where have I been all of this time? And I want to just say this for people who may not per se be in a in a relationship like this, or a marriage. I want you to think about even in your business. I just did a podcast with she calls herself the bonus mom coach, and I too am a bonus mom, and have parents that were separated, and I have a bonus mother myself. And I bring up this example because I want you to truly see it for what it is and understand knowing your role and knowing what you deserve and what you need, and respecting whatever dynamic it is, and saying, can I deal with this? Can I stay in this relationship, or can I not? Can there be some changes in here? And if people aren't willing to change and willing to come together and make it work, then you know what? I need to be out of here.
That's true. You got to
And
learn.
You do. And I'm sorry, I had to bring that up because it is important to understand and recognize, am I in a position with just a title?
Right, right. Because the title doesn't mean anything if you're not being fulfilled, if you're not being
Amen.
respected, you don't have a benefit from that title. Yeah, titles. Yeah, get that out your mind. How are you being treated? Are you
Mm,
growing from this? Are you feeling respected, loved, valued? Titles don't mean anything. But
yeah.
for me, Mary, am I the other woman? It
That was
hurt my
deep.
little heart to even have to say that. But I just wanted to keep it 1,000 because I want a gut punch in the sense that I know other people feel this way. And so that chapter is going to draw them in because it's like, what is she talking about? And you may see yourself in some of these stories that I'm telling. This is my
Yeah.
real life, but I
Yeah.
don't mind it because you're going to learn from that.
Yeah.
With your situation, you're going to see how I got out of it. And
Yeah.
then you'll make your own plan and execute. You know what I
Yes.
mean?
Yes.
Just,
Ooh. Ooh,
I
Sharina,
know I see you making me fan again.
this is what, because this is what
Jesus.
it's all about. Okay, I don't know what happened in the year 2016, but you have a title called 2016. I want you to talk to us about why this particular year stood out to you, and how did the events of this year shape you in your perspective of finding your purpose.
Okay. 2016, I found that to be a good year after so many years of turmoil. 2016, I bought my first home.
Mm,
2016, I graduated my college degree.
that's big.
2016, me and my husband and my kids, we were happy. I had my family. It was just a happy place. And I was so grateful because I'm like, I waited so many years to feel this way. And I talk about it. So in the book, I don't want to just focus on all the negative stuff, but there were times of joy, success, peace, and happiness. And I wanted to share that as well to motivate everybody that hard work does pay off. There are good times
Mm.
after the storm. You know what I'm saying? And I touched
Yeah.
on different things that I went through in that year.
Yeah, I like that. So you're saying that what you did was, and I love your book. I love your book because I do believe that, especially as we begin to tell our stories, when we become witnesses, right? And it's so important that once we rip all of the band-aids off of people's wounds, right? By just telling our story, we have to be able to try to at least cover them up and them remember that there was purpose in all of that pain, that there were happy moments, that God was still covering you through the bad times. And I love the fact that you throw in the bliss, you throw in the happy years of 2016, but you got it because you got to say you throw in the birth of your children and graduating and buying a house. There is happiness in the midst of the pain. So I like I love that. I love that. I didn't know what was in that chapter 2016. So thank you for sharing that. Okay, so I want to talk to you about when you talk about divorce me, please. That's a strong statement to say within oneself. Can you share with us and the listeners what this chapter represents and how it reflects on the quest in your purpose?
Wow. So when I finally wrote Divorce Me Please, I was at a point in my life of feeling like I had all the strength God gave me. I
Mm,
felt healed. I felt ready to be divorced, not just legally, but emotionally. I was
mm.
over it. And now I'm just like, I want to start dating again. But I'm the chick that be like, oh, if a guy say I'm married, but I'm going through a divorce, I'm like, well, slide that way. Call me when you're done. So I didn't want to be that person. Like he gonna tell me the same thing. So let me hurry up and get this taken care of. So I'm
Mm,
like, divorce me, please. Because at a point he gave me a hard time, the ex, in
mm,
getting that process started. But I wanted to get to the courthouse, show that, yes, I made it through. The victory is mine. I'm ready. And God, He truly gave me the strength to get through that because when I first filed for divorce years prior, oh, I wasn't ready. I was doing it to make a statement like, oh, you're not about to play me. You're not about to hurt me and get away with it. I'm done with you. So let me file for divorce. But
mm.
emotionally, my heart was still there. The soul tie was very strong.
Yeah.
And divorce is not about a piece of paper. It's really like it's like you breaking your heart. You breaking one person apart. And so back then I wasn't ready, but at that point, honey, I was ready, and I had my cute outfit and a party to go right along with it.
Yes, ma'am. She said a
So
party
yes,
with it.
I did.
Hold
My
on.
girls, yeah, they gave me a little party.
Okay,
not to celebrate divorce, but to celebrate my strength and me healing and me moving forward to the next chapter of my life.
Right. No, I completely understand what you're saying. And I want to just take a moment and talk about that real quick, because you said two powerful things, but I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get through one. But you said that you did it 1 year and you weren't ready because you did it more so to prove him, prove your point with him. But the second time you were proving your point with you were ready. And that's so important. And if I can just ask you, dig a little bit deeper, there are a lot of people who don't know if they will ever get to that point. They know that the situation that they're in is just awful, and they don't see a way out, and they don't know when and what was that pivotal point. What light bulb went off for you, Sherrina, that you said, you know what, now I mean it for me?
So you're gonna make me get emotional. I'm trying not to. I'm such an emotional girl. But for me, my daughter I had Kayla at 21, 5 days before my 21st. So we are very close. And I really wanted her to just see me be strong. I wanted her to see me survive that. I wanted her to know that, yeah, mommy work, mommy sing, mommy do all these things, but this is the hardest challenge of my life. And I felt like I wouldn't get through it. And I did. And I needed her to know that you saw mommy go through all this crap with 2 kids. So no matter what God put in your path or the devil put in your path, you're going to make it. You're going to get through it. You're going to have to do the work, fight your way through, keep going, wake up every day saying, I love myself. I am worthy. And you're going to make it. And so if she see me do it, because, kids are quick to say, well, you didn't do it. You're right. I didn't, but I'm doing it now. Yeah. And so I needed her to see that. And I feel like she's proud of me now. And what my kids think of me means a lot. I want them to know, yeah, I went through hard times, but I didn't give up on myself. And at times I had moments of wanting to give up, for sure.
Right.
I didn't, and mainly because of them at one point, but then because of me, because I'm like, I can do this. I got support. Yeah. People are going to rally around me if I try to help myself. And even on the days that I felt like I couldn't, people, they just came out of nowhere to support me in my journey. Mm-hmm. So it was a beautiful thing for me getting past my marital issues, but really just being a whole person again, a happy person. And mm-hmm. for Kayla and my son to see their mom do that, that's the greatest success for me.
Wow. Wow. Sherrina, real quick, did you see that modeled to you growing up? Did you see strong women break bondage and break chains around you? Did you see that?
My mom, she went through a very bad first divorce with DV and all of that, and she got out.
Yeah, that's good.
And I did see, the arguing. It's just like how I didn't know it was wrong, though. It's just how they handled it. So me, as I got older, I'm like, man, I need to learn how to talk stuff out. I cannot be trying to knock people out because I'm mad. I don't want to act like that. Let me fan myself. Just tell me. Okay. I'm so sorry.
It's okay. I know you got
me. But yes, I did see my mom be a survivor and get away from a situation that was no longer serving her a great purpose or love and respect. And so I admire her for that. And she went through a whole lot. For me, that's what made myself very upset about. Like, my mama, she wasn't playing and she didn't deal with this. Why am I dealing with it? What's wrong with me? So I had to figure that out.
Yeah.
And counseling and prayer and support, I did.
Yeah, I love that. And what I hear you say so loud and clear, you took back your power and you set forth being an example for your daughter.
Yes.
Because now she'll remember this pivotal moment when mom said, no more, I'm
not
free.
Having it. That's right. That's right. Absolutely.
Girl, all right.
That's my greatest ministry, these kids.
Amen. Because they're all watching. They
Yeah.
are all, it don't matter what age they are, they're watching. We're gonna end this on a upbeat, on a note, on a good note, I believe. I want you to tell us about victory. What does the title and the chapter and the area that you were talking about victory, what does it mean to you, and how did it become an essential part of your journey towards finding purpose in your pain?
And victory, it covers a lot of things for me. Victory is me identifying the root of the problem, me seeing my patterns over the years of how I
Mm,
added to the problem,
mm,
me figuring out the right help and support that I needed,
mm,
me loving me for real, and
mm.
me knowing what love is not, because we think, oh my God, what love is, because he's fine and he want to take us out and buy us nice things, or you know,
Yeah.
I don't know, showcase us on Facebook or
Come
something,
on. I
crazy
was about
stuff.
to say that.
But at home he a clown and he inboxing people and he
Mm,
DMing people and there's no respect. So learning
mm.
those things and checking somebody when they do hurt me, not allowing or continuing to allow things to be done toward me that are wrong.
Yeah.
Me not sitting in it and being quiet. I am a voice now. I am strong. I feel
Mm,
people, they will listen if I speak up. And if I need some help in speaking up or getting the help, I'm going to be brave enough to ask for it.
amen.
I feel that is victory, because a lot of times we are timid, we are ashamed, we are afraid, and we won't ask for help. We won't tell the problem.
Yeah.
But I encourage people to tell the problem to somebody you trust, and make
Mm,
a plan for yourself. And it is baby steps to get through that execution,
mm.
to victory. And so that's what victory means to me. I have found purpose in my pain. I'm not letting the things that happen to me hinder me any longer. I'm finding power in it. I'm
Yeah.
learning from it. I'm teaching my siblings, because I have three sisters, and they seeing their sister, get past all of the drama. And my
Yeah.
daughter getting to see me be a better mom and a strong mom. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? And even my son, who's a high school senior now,
Yeah.
he didn't see too much because I kind of shelter him, but
Yeah.
he is still proud because I do share with him some of the things, so he's aware and
Yeah.
how to treat a young lady and the signs of you being kind of aggressive, or
Yeah.
your attitude and how you speak to somebody. I check him all day long. He got to keep
Yeah.
it in check.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
allow him to be acting crazy or having attitudes with his little girlfriend.
Right.
So,
Right.
it's victory in all of that.
Yeah.
I hurt, I suffered, but I also learned, I
Mm.
grew, and I feel like God has blessed me tremendously to even tell my story. So that's victory for me.
I love that so much, Sharina. Ah, and that right there is really what it's all about. That's about being a witness and taking your pain and turning it into purpose. I love you, and I love your vulnerability. You girl, you almost had me in tears. I appreciate you so much. There are so many nuggets that you dropped in. And ladies, if you're listening, please go get that book. I cannot wait to do a recap with you, Sharina, have you back on and talk about some questions, maybe have a couple of women who have read your book come back and just discuss it and find out where they are and where they were and where they are now, because you drop a lot of nuggets on how to get us through some of these hard times. I want you to leave something with some of our listeners and just give them some words of encouragement of being able to find their purpose through their pain.
I feel like you should definitely be honest with yourself.
Mm,
You should be prayerful. You should write things down.
mm,
And then for the things that you need to work on, if you don't know how to do it, I encourage you to ask for help to do it, because
mm,
sometimes there is a better process to get to the finish line and you
mm,
don't have to suffer so long. You know what I'm saying?
mm,
Be real with yourself. It's okay, because God know it anyway.
mm.
Forgive yourself. Tell somebody who you know and who you trust if you're being hurt or abused or just feeling neglected or just need some love and encouragement. Reach out. It's okay.
Mm,
People do care. And if they don't, you go to the left with them. You find
right.
somebody who cares. A lot of beautiful people out here who care. And I promise you, you will be okay. You will find purpose in your pain. You won't be a victim forever. You
Mm.
may have been victimized, but you will have the victory in the end.
Mm. Ooh, Sheree. That is so good. That is so good. Sharina, thank you so much for coming, sharing your book, Purpose in Your Pain, and being a witness, giving hope to people who may be hopeless or stuck in bondage themselves. Tell us where we can find your book.
So, Finding Purpose in My Pain is available on Amazon, and it's also available on sidspace.com, which is a inmate. It's like a Facebook site for inmates. My book will also be available on an inmate app for those who are incarcerated across the U.S. And that app it's only been sent out to a few prisons right now, but it's going to be nationwide, hopefully in months to come. So I'll keep you posted on that. But if you want it right away, go to Amazon.com or sidspace.com.
Love that. I love that.
And let me know your thoughts. I want your review. I really seriously want to know what y'all think.
Well, that is amazing. Okay, thank you so much, Sharina. Sharina will give me all the information where you guys can all find her book, purchase it, and like she said, give us feedback. You know, I always do believe in feedback. Feedback helps us get better, helps us be able to maybe reach a different audience, broaden our story. Because one thing, when we go through a lot, God leaves us with a good story, honey, and we can reach a lot of people. So thank you so much, Sharina, for being my special guest today. I'm so glad my mom found you. Next time we have you on, I need you to sing us a song, okay?
Wait a minute now. Wait a minute. I don't have my water bottle, but praise is what I do
Mm.
when I want to be close to you. That's a little something. You know, I wasn't prepared.
Oh, I love it.
I am a gospel singer, though. I just wasn't ready. I just wasn't ready. Forgive me. But yeah,
Woo! That was so
I
good.
appreciate you so much. Oh, my God. Thank
Oh
you so
my
much.
God. Thank you. Praise is what I do. That's one of my
Right.
favorite songs. Oh, you have no idea. Okay. Thank you so much, ladies. If you're blessed by this episode, we ask that you share it with a friend, with a family member, with a sister who you think that may need to hear this. And we ask that you follow Shereen on social medias, get that book, post a picture, send on her web and on her page. Then you got it. And show some support. We ask that you like and you subscribe to Woman Witness TV, Woman Witness podcast, and continue to share the news. Perhaps you were chosen for such a time as this to write to tell your story, your truth. Until next time, bye.